They now have all the moss they could ever desire to go with their food. Because, you know, they totally need food and moss. They need a side dish to go with their main course. Anyway, next, dealing with those cages. Right, that's... I said that would happen next. That will happen next. Dealing with these cages. Actually getting this done correctly. The only way I can see for this is to just bite the bullet and make this happen. Okay, moving that's not gonna be happening. That's not gonna happen. Uh, Gosh, dang, this is not easy to logisticize. Uh, alright, so the idea, by the way, is to get both things in. Ta-da! Oh boy. That is definitely a thing. But that definitely works. Okay. So it will now input the cages from the bone meal, preferentially. Oh, I still have one more thing to do, don't I? Yep, there's still one more thing to do. One more rather important thing that I need to make some space to do. Yeah, this is too important. I have to make sure that I do a lane balance. Yep, that is important. Lane balancing is required in this circumstance, just in case. Just in case. This stuff is going to tend to come from one lane, and even though it does seem like it was coming in potentially the right side, the correct side, I don't want to take chances. No chances shall be taken on this day. And yeah, that should end up helping with overcoming this excess amount that I have here as I process these augs. Okay, that is almost energy drinks. We're almost there. Why do I have you here? Something lube that I apparently don't have enough of. Apparently I need more lube for something. Apparently I'm doing something with lube. Big stretch. Big stretch. Okay, what's next? What is the next bottleneck to smash? How you doing? Phenolic, how you doing? Fiber. Fiberboard. That will be the raw fiber. Is it time? Is it time? Is it actually time? I think it might actually be time. It's also apparently time for more Vrauk cocoons. That seems to be also starting to run low. Somewhere up here. Yeah, that's gonna be a bottleneck sooner than later. The Vrauks, by the way, that's going into Alien Sample 2s, which, as of last time, I had improved. Or maybe I did that off screen. I don't remember. I don't remember. I scaled this. I needed more sample 2s if I was going to feed two thingies making pie science. So I'm making these, which also meant two of these, which also means more Vrout cocoons get consumed when making more DNA polymerase. Okay, of course you're circuit 2 limited. You are narrow processor limited. At least we're on the actual, like, circuit level things. So your brains. Thanks for reminding you of what? And then circuit 2's, what is that? That's the fiber board? Oh, hello, Tech. Hello, Tech. How nice to see you. How nice to see the upgraded moss recipe. Gee, what do I want? As a next tech. We have options. We have options of techs. Composting might be something that's required at some point. May as well pick that up, it's just red. Oh yeah, and I did the additional batteries, because those were required as well. You. There. Doink, doink. Move faster. How is the rayon? Fiber. Fiber, 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 fiber. That seems to be the number one thing is the fiber. Okay. Yeah, so I'll give you one guess as to why the circuit ones aren't quite up to speed at the moment. Why we're bottlenecked on circuit ones. I'll give you one guess as to the bottleneck on circuit ones, and I literally had just said what the bottleneck was. I literally just was just saying what that bottleneck was. Tin, no. Fiber. Fiberboard. Fiberboard will be the bottleneck on the circuit ones. PCBs. PCBs require fiberboard. So the PCBs, well, they require Formica, and the Formica is being limited by the fiberboard. So the fiber board is being limited by fiber. So, yeah, about that. Are any of these of value? No. I see the word manure and I immediately am turned off by it. So, eh. So, question of the day: are any of these three actually of value? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean how? Huh? Yes, they are of value. Well, they require making manure. 9 out. Well, if I'm going to look at these, I may as well look at the one that has the most. All right, so 12 out. Everything else is fine. What's the So it's 5 manure for 12 out. Okay. What's the effort involved on the 5 manure? Yeah, my fiber board. Right, it's not actually limited by fiber. It's limited by the raw fiber. Raw fiber. Raw fiber. Fiber board. Limited by raw fiber. Because I'm currently only using wood for raw fiber for this source, but just raw fiber in general is a bottleneck. It's raw fiber and for fiber raw fiber, like for the boards. This is a problem when you have two items that are, one is raw fiber, one is fiber, both of which are technically bottlenecks, but it's the raw fiber that's the source ultimately. Also, could use bringing in of the sodium hydroxide separately from this nonsense. And I have another recipe as well. I have another recipe to use for the fiberboard. How much of the Relesia do I have? I'm not actually using much of the Relesia. I have Relesia. Theoretically. I have Relesia. That's fine. I've got 16 thingies of Relesia. Decent enough buffer of the actual flowers and of the seeds. So I've got the Relesia. Use Relesia for manure. Huh? There's Relesia manure. I don't have excess production is what I'm trying to say. I don't have excess. Upgrade Relesia for manure. Oh, you mean like Ulrich manure? Feeding the Ulrich Relesia. That's one way. But there is no like direct Relesia into manure. You Ulrich the manure by feeding Relesia. Or by feeding Ulrich food, which, you know, I have this big thing that I'm not even using already pre-built up here. Like I've got this beautiful thing pre-built up here that I could just switch to manure at any time. Alright, we have like 13 minutes left, by the way. I need tech. Tech, right. tech is important. So, speaking of tech, I'm actually probably going to take Tufra. Oh, there's a cobalt oxide. Oh, glorious. I need this. I will need this if I plan on doing super steel slash super alloy anytime soon. Because that's going to be required for that. But I actually, in the alternative, we could like try to work towards the cotton gut stuff, towards cotton gut pie science slash other sciences, improve outputs through the alternative method of cotton gut. But I think that it would be better to do the Tufra. Either the Tufra or the Kick Alk. I mean, we'll probably just start with the Kick Alk. So I just unlocked the better raw fiber recipe. The best raw fiber recipe. I have just unlocked the sugar-based raw fiber recipe, which this will be a build. It'll be a build that will involve Corlex, as well as Tufra to make the sugar on top of the Kickalk. So I want to build this. I want to actually build this instead. So all this talk on like the ways to get the Kickalk, it's not actually going to matter because you don't need a lot of Kickalk for the raw fiber output here. It's 1 into 40. It's one whole Kickalk into 40 raw fiber, so you can afford to go slower with the Kickalk recipes here. The one important thing here on the speed is going to be the Tufra for the sugar. That's going to be the bigger speed boost thingy. So inventory space. Doink doink doink. Doink doink doink. Get rid of those. Not gonna need those. Get rid of those. Gosh, this is... Buy free inventory slots just by doing that. Get rid of the rail. Yeah. Just get rid of rail. I mean, I can... We looked at this last time. We looked at this at the end last time as well. Or at some point. The build for this is ultimately relatively reasonable on the Corlex itself. The size of this comes from the Tufra. The actual size of this comes from Tufra. So if we look at half a Kickalk a second to do 20 raw fiber, you know, just casually 20 raw fiber, we're looking at a lot on the Tufra plantations currently, but that's going to be rebalanced at some point sooner rather than later. That will get rebalanced. Now the milk, we have the option of Bodos and more Tufra and more Tufra, or the food. And I think I have access to the food recipe. which does not involve Tufra. So that would be the way that I would go on this. And of course, I need to add Corlex. Wherefore art thou? Bleh, Corlex. One? All. There we go. All the things. By the way, in case you didn't know, just put, like, spam as many as possible. Just, like, spam a really big number here, and it'll just fill up however many is in the machine. That works well. Should you look into potatoes tonight? I don't know. I'm sort of doing this now, so I guess. I guess so. It's 25 Easy Squeeze ranches with the Corlex food, which I'm pretty sure I can make. I can't make, but I can get the food, so that's fine. I can plan around the stuff. I will need to set up fish. I've been meaning to set up fish. How about I actually set up fish? That would be ideal too. We could start by making fish. That's what we'll do. I have decided. We have come to a determination. I shall make fish. I shall make fish. It is that time. Everything else is put by the wayside. Everything is going to come down to fish. Fish shall happen. Beautiful, glorious fish. So, what shall be our fish? Excuse me. Fish. Show me fish. Which recipe for fish is the question of the day? Well, that depends on fish food. How glorious is fish food? Right, it requires fish. Right. Because that's a thing. So, so fish food requires fish. Obviously. Obviously, fish food requires fish. Let's actually make some fish first. It's lamps, it's biomass, it's oxygen, and it's saline. Turn on matrix solver. I'm not going to be planning. I need to get an initial set of fish before I can even do that transition, right? I need to, like, get some fish before I can do that transition and start that loop going with the fish food and all that. And then, like, I can think about this more broadly, getting more stuff. So it's 5 modules of fish per fish farm. I don't even need to plan. I don't even want to, like, actually plan this. It's going to be biomass, lamps, oxygen, and saline. So I technically have something with fish in it somewhere. Here. A few fish. Apparently it's 7. Apparently it's 7 modules for fish. I do. It's just, well, apparently I don't anymore. So, oh, there's a few apparently in here. So yeah, I could, but I need something consistent. Like, I need more of a kickstart. More of a kickstart. Like, I want a chest of fish. Like, a full-ass chest of fish. And then I have to think of, we're going to use the wastewater for something, right? As well. Yeah, so just, like, get this going for me. I do unfortunately also have things that will be like requesting fish as well. Do I have any electrolyzers? No, of course not. You've got electrolyzers. Here, have stuff. Have some oxygen. Let's void that. Water. Saline. So, saline. That is one of those things not here. Tar. Didn't I have something needing saline? You. Where is your saline coming from? Hello. I think I found my saline. I think I found saline. It tried to hide from me. But I have found it. Let's ignore the fact that I almost got hit by a train just now. Power? The fish shall flow! The fish shall propagate. It's fish. It's moving. It has begun, and now I don't need to worry about doing actual manual fishing for fish. This is just the beginning. This is like just something very, very, very temporary just to get some initial supply to get modules for the fish, because I'm frankly just being lazy. Don't want to walk all the way down the bus to get more from my starting water. There might actually be a fish or two that's stuck somewhere in one of these chests. Maybe, because... Oh yeah, that... Because of course that requires fish, and then... Who was the other one? There was another one. There's Corlex. Corlex also required fish, but looks like I cleared that one out. Hey, couple more. Here, go ever so slightly faster. Go ever so slightly faster. Please. With that, it is now 1 o'clock, and time to end off the stream. What did we do today? Good question. What did we do today? I actually have to think about that. What did we do? We expanded / fixed the cobalt extract. Fixed the cobalt extract. Sort of. I found another bottleneck. I have officially found another bottleneck. Need a bit more rare earth. Need a bit more rare earth. Good thing I've got a whole bunch of bolides sitting right here. Fix the cyanic part of this bottleneck and some throughput issues on the inserters to get cobalt extract, more sufficient quantities of the cobalt extract. Then was sort of like, did the full rendering crap on the AUGs, got the AUGs upgraded to Mark II buildings, started feeding them sufficient quantities of moss, and yeah, that's honestly about it. didn't do too much else. Have been whacking some bottlenecks. That's what we were doing. Whacking bottlenecks, helping to get things going again properly. Next time we meet, I will focus more towards getting more sufficient supplies of fish. Getting sufficient supplies of fish, as in doing proper setup somewhere not on my mall for the fish. We shall get a proper at scale fish build, and then get into the Corlex as well as Tufra uh, for making sugar for that good recipe for the fiber. So Corlex for that fiber recipe, sugar for that fiber recipe, and some Kickalk for that fiber recipe. We're working towards that end tier phase game of raw fiber recipe, that really good raw fiber recipe that I want to use as my primary recipe. But of course, I need to feed my Corlex, which means fish. And since I've noticed so many other things needing fish uh, over the course of time, other food sources too will need fish. This is a good time to actually finally set that up. So I will absolutely do so. And I will start to turn the wastewater into urea, but I need fish as well. You can also set up there is a build that exists. It's like fish into blood with wastewater into urea and blood into urea from atomizing the blood. That is one thing you can do with fish, just all fish into urea. But I'll do that maybe separately at some point when I actually do need, quote unquote, that urea for like collagen or something once I need a lot of collagen. But anyway, with that, I'd like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you are watching the VOD on YouTube and have been enjoying the series thus far, please be sure to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you are so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/OtakuShowboat to leave a follow to be notified when I go live Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can do all of the social stuff through the links below the video, including supporting Pyandon's Mods development at patreon.com/Pyandon and myself at patreon.com/OtakuShowboat. I will, of course, be back on Sunday with the fish. The fish shall happen on Sunday, and maybe we shall see the Corlex, too. We shall actually build Corlex, as long as the fish don't take 3 hours. Hopefully. It won't take 3 hours. I will, of course, see you all then.